Okay, so I'm going on to our traditional rose. I'm going to do slightly different than the way I learned to do a rose, but I am still using a tip 104. If you want much bigger roses, you can use a tip 125, and I have that, and I'm going to try and do that in a minute. But here's a 104 rose. So we're going to build a mound. Okay, a nice mound. And then we're going to put our tip straight up and down, and we're going to start slow, turn the nail, and come down to make a nice cone. Okay. Not quite centered here. Icing's got a little bit of air in it because it sat overnight. And then I'm going to keep my tip in, and I'm going to do that crisscross like I did before. Up, keeping the tip towards the center, and down. And I'm going to do that triangle. Like we did before. Yeah, I know I got a lot of air bubbles in here. Okay, and then we're going to do it again. For this red has got a lot of air in it. So this is what happens when you do your icing the night before. Okay. And then we're going to start coming straight up. And notice I'm going in between the petals. So you can see. Make sure you give it enough pressure to build it up. And then let your hand come out a little bit. Keep wiping that tip off. Nice long petals. Okay, so this is a huge rose, and yeah, it's got a lot of air in it from when my bag sit. But you get the general idea. So it's very closed in the center, and then it comes out. So let's switch to another tip. And I'm going to do a bud. So now I have a 125 in my bag, okay? And this, again, with the wide end at the bottom and the tiny end at the top. Don't forget your little plastic. Believe me, if you forget your plastic and try to take it off, you try to take it off with the scissors, if your frosting is soft like mine is right now, it ain't gonna work. Okay, so a mound. Okay, and then we're gonna make that nice tight center, well, somewhat tight. Okay, and we're still gonna do the same thing before, keeping it in towards the center and coming over. Okay, so you can see it there. Frosting's soft, so I'm just going to go around the, build up the base here so that it won't fall over. Okay, and then coming in again towards the center. Doing 5 of them. Okay, so you can see this is a much bigger rose, and then if you want to make it one that stands up, you can do something like that, and then another row if you so desire. I would normally just stop and just do a bud, so just 2 rows, 3 and then 5, and I'm done. Okay, this was just like a really big guy. So we're done there. So now I'm going to do the bottom of this cake, and I'm going to do like a candy cane. It's a holiday cake, so I'm going to just do pink and white striped. So I'm going to do kind of like a rope border. So I don't know how I'm going to do this with getting my hand in the way. Basically, I'm going to do a rope border. Okay, so rope border is going to, the first part of it is like an S. So I'm going to squeeze it. I'm going to do it backwards, like that. So squeeze up like an S. And then you want to tuck this. Let me show you left-handed. Tuck this in, squeeze it, come around that and down. And you keep tucking in and around, in and around, in and around. So it's tuck, squeeze up over the tail of the previous piped S. But I have to do it from this direction. So we're going to tuck it in and come around. So it's going to be kind of like a rope. I'm not getting it. Oh, there we go. And I know it's hard for you to see it because my hand is in the way. Okay, you get the general idea. And I'm using a tip 21 in case you're curious. Okay, and then we'll just continue that all the way around. So I just have no tip in here, it's just a coupler in here. You can use like a large round tip like a 1A or something, but I'm just going to go ahead and just pipe a nice, this can be any color, it's best to have it the color of your base cake. Boy, I've got a lot of air in this frosting. And then I'm going to put one more round on top. Okay, so you have just enough frosting to go around. So I've got kind of like a triangle here. I'm going to pop this in the freezer real quick because I want that to firm up. Okay, and then I'll bring it back out and we'll start putting on our flowers.